So this is like take 8 of recording the voiceover for this video, but here we go again. So Wooster game, divisioned up with Admiral Mudkip in a tier 10 CV and Sneaky Devil in a tier 10 US battleship. Map is north, and there's only one reason you're seeing this game, and that is because of AA, anti-aircraft fire. Quick comments on my build and the fact that I'm in that carrier division. Doesn't really change anything. This is my standard random build. The only thing that I've actually changed on this Wooster while divisioning up with an aircraft carrier is I added the 10% AA signal flag. Other than that, this is my standard run-of-the-mill Wooster build. That said, it is a complete AA build. I do run an AA build for all random games. Slot, is it 2 or 3, has the 20% AA range bump. This ship does have concealment, advanced fire and training, and IFHE. So I get another 20% for AA out of the advanced fire and training. And last but not least, in the 6th slot, I actually run the 25% bump to AA damage per second. So is this an AA build Wooster? Absolutely, with the exception of manual AA. It has every AA bump and perk you could possibly add to it. That said, none of this was done for this game. This is pretty much my standard build, with the exception of the signal flags that give me a little bit of extra AA. So 8.6 kilometer range on AA, getting in position between B and C when I get radared. And I believe that radar was actually for the Shimakaze, who decided to pop a smoke, and he is kind of going to take a little bit of enemy fire here. I am spotted, I am radared. I quickly go from being detected to being targeted, and now I have 3 people looking at me, and there's a big island in between me and most of the enemy force, so I don't really know what's going on there. And yeah, then I realized that I have a cheeky DD in the B cap shooting at me. I also noticed that the red CV has sent a strike package in the general vicinity of my ship, so I popped my defensive fire. And one other item to note is our gearing at D. We asked him to stick around with us. He chose to go to D by himself, and he is going to be a typical shithead DD, and he goes on a CV snipe mission. So yeah, pretty much useless the entire game, and I may mention him later on, I may not, but at this point we've shot down 24 planes, and we've still got a few planes coming into our area of operation, and we dispatched them pretty quick. I'm not sure what the Montana's AA build, I don't believe is anything special. Most of the guys in my clan don't specifically spec for CVs because there are so few in the game. I, on the other hand, I like to have that AA capability in most of my ships, and even ships that I don't run defensive fire in. Sometimes I'll run manual AA if they have respectable AA numbers. So, and we have some more planes coming in, and I don't have my defensive fire right now. It's on cooldown, but even my normal AA is strong enough to more or less melt these squadrons, especially considering there's a Montana and a Massachusetts in the vicinity. So trying to help out with this Dimitri, and try to keep these ships out of this cap, and or there we go. There's our Shimakaze to the Dimitri. We're radared again. There is a Seattle over here, so between the Dimitri and the Seattle, they are probably going to rotate their radars and keep us spotted. Ironically, they're not, right now at least, they're not in any position to be pushing us. So I'm kind of just moving around over here. I thought we were going to get pushed, so I started changing my position so I could, if I had to, make a run for it and kite. And more planes come out. I pop defensive fire, and I continue to decimate the Red CV squadrons, one after another. He just keeps on sending them. I'm not sure who he was actually going for, but that's 17 planes, and it's also AA expert in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. My record for shooting down planes is 63. I did it in this very ship, on this very map, in this same identical position, basically. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was. So that was 63 planes. Before that, I shot down 53 with a Des Moines and 50 with a Minotaur. And both of those got me the old achievement for shooting down planes, which was Clear Skies, which ironically for me was one of the most elusive achievements to earn. It just took me forever to get my first one. I actually had multiple solo warriors before I even got a Clear Sky. I do not play CVs, so maybe that's normal, but I kind of like the fact that they changed the requirement to get the achievement, lowered it a little bit for surface vessels outside of the carrier realm. And yeah, it's a little bit more doable now. Again, ships like the Des Moines, the Minotaur, the Wooster, even an AA set, Hindi or Zao are pretty much AA monsters if spec correctly. Whether people choose to or not is completely up to them. But we've broken our plane record at this point. We've shot down 67 planes. You'll notice, just a quick note, this NC, I give these guys credits because this was a tough flank to push into. We got a lot of firepower here. This Massachusetts is just a beast. He is literally full beast mode. He's obviously being backed up by myself and the Montana. So he parks himself right at the corner of this island and just tanks and tanks and tanks and tanks, and his secondaries fire almost non-stop. So props to him and props to the red team. These guys actually pushed around the corner. I think unfortunately for them they did it one at a time. That NC would have been better off if their Montana and their Dimitri had came at the same time he did, but they hung a little bit back, which cost allowed the NC to be focused down pretty heavily and pretty quickly. And then yeah, we get to work on each of these ships one at a time, and yeah, it is what it is. You'll note our gearing is up in the G line, hiding behind an island. I mentioned him in the beginning of the game as being fucking useless, and he continues to demonstrate and prove me right. So yeah, I don't know why people like that even play the game. I don't know how that is fun, enjoyable, how you feel productive. I don't really get it, but I guess to each their own. You know, this is coming from a guy who's only got 27,000 damage, but I have shot down 72 planes for my new AA record. Also like my rocking the Go Navy camo. I do like this one better than the Stars and Stripes and better than some of the other illegal camos that are available for the U.S. ships. Seemed a little quiet for a little bit, so I popped my hydro and then I popped my radar and we locate this Seattle, and he's on the outer rim of my AA or my radar range. Believe it or not, that CV actually got a strike on me. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see this coming in. I do have defensive fire up now, but he managed to actually get a strike on me. It only took him 80 planes. It only cost him 80 planes to do that. 3,000 or 4,000 damage to me. My AA is still up. His torpedo planes are coming in, so they're gonna pay the ultimate price, as is this squadron, and that's another 10 planes. So that puts me at 89 planes shot down. Our gearing has come out from the protection of that northeastern island and is heading further back to the A line. So yeah, 10 minutes into the game, 11 minutes into the game, and our DD is on the A line on the enemy cap, and it doesn't appear there are any ships up there, so I'm not really sure what his plan is. You'll notice the Midway is actually spotted on the other side of the map, and he's being run down by our Baltimore. Chat's asking about the AA expert. I don't know how you really play this game at this level, at tier 10, and not maybe know the achievements or whatever, but it does require you to shoot down 40 planes. You only can get one per game. Otherwise, I would already have a second one, because I've shot down enough aircraft to actually get 2+ achievements. 2.25, I guess. Technically, almost 2.25. So, at this point, we're taking the C cap. It's still contested. There's a Yu Yang in that smoke. There's a Seattle and a Tirpitz in the vicinity of the D cap. So I decided to go around the cap. I can't radar the Yu Yang because I've already used my radar. It's on cooldown for another 6 seconds. He does get spotted and immediately gets taken out by, I believe, the Montana. Correct. The Montana does take him out. And there's quite a little battle going on at these CD right now. A lot of the ships on our team have kind of moseyed on over to this location. This Seattle goes down courtesy of the Massachusetts. The Seattle manages to burn down our Montana. The Baltimore finishes off the Midway. So just in 10 seconds, we trade 3 or 4 ships there. But it leaves us in our team in a good position, with RCV taking out the Tirpitz over here, which leaves only the Kagero. And the Kagero was last spotted over at the A cap. So at this point, we're sitting on 894 points. They have 312. We have a 4 or 5 ship advantage. This game's pretty much over. Admiral Mudkip, who is our CV captain and has got himself a Kraken, is nice enough to allow, well, actually, I take that back. The Kagero finishes off our Baltimore, which basically gives us enough time to, or gives me enough time to take this cap, assuming that Mudkip doesn't strike him. So Mudkip holds off for a couple seconds here while I try to get some cap points, because other than shooting down planes, which, don't get me wrong, is super important, I haven't really done anything. I don't even have 100,000 damage in this boat right now. I have 0 kills. So, yeah, I'm kind of being a XP whore, and I'm going to grab some cap points here while Mudkip searches for the Kagero. I don't recall what this CV's, the red CV's skill level was. If he was good, mediocre, or poor. I don't Nothing jumps out that he was particularly bad, but our CV player is outstanding. He is a really high level, really proficient CV player. Surely the CV that you want on your team and not the CV you want to be going against. So, yeah, hats off to our team. Props to the Massachusetts. My division, excluding me, and then including the Massachusetts, accounted for 9 of the 11 kills at this point. Unfortunately, Mudkip is not going to get this. Kagero, the ticker is, the points are ticking up pretty quickly. We do have 3 caps, and yeah, so he doesn't get his 6th kill, but as usual, Mudkip kicks butt, and we were able to win this game. Pretty good game. Again, AA record for me, 89 plane shot down, and 45k damage, and 1 cap. So, I like to say I had some impact, and I think the leaderboard speaks to how much the planes really count for when it comes to XP, because I lead the leaderboard with 28-19, Massachusetts with 3 kills is 26-34, and Mudkip is 21-75 with 5 kills. I shot down more planes than everybody in the game combined. I had actually 10 more planes shot down than every other ship, friendly and red, combined. Pretty crazy. I've never really had that much of an impact on a game as far as CVs and aircraft shooting shot down goes. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching.